The stars above Station 7 were calm. Thousands of bright lights blinked in the black sky. The station floated quietly above a blue planet, one of Earth's new colonies. Life on the station was peaceful. Children laughed in the learning halls. Scientists studied alien plants from the planet below. Soldiers trained, but they didn't expect war. There hadn't been a major battle in the galaxy for over 50 years. Commander Leanne Hayes stood near the observation deck. She looked out at the stars, sipping her recycled coffee. Her uniform was neat. Her eyes were tired but focused. She had been on Station 7 for 5 years now. It was her home, a place where Earth's people and aliens worked together. She never expected that. This day would change everything. A soft beep echoed through the control room. "Commander," said a young officer, Ensign Terrell, "we're getting a strange signal. Not human, not in our registry." "Location?" Leon asked calmly. "Just outside the colony's orbit. It's static at first, but now—" He pressed a few buttons. A voice came through the speakers, broken and strange. ... Cleanse ... For purity. The fire will ... Remember ... What the hell is that?" Leon asked, walking over quickly. Another officer spoke up. "Commander, we just lost contact with the research station on the planet. No warning, just gone." Outside the windows, the stars still looked peaceful. Too peaceful. Then the alarm screamed. Multiple enemy ships exited from warp. Huge, dark, no markings, no broadcasts. Just silence. "Shields up," Leon shouted. "All hands to battle stations." But it was too late. The first blast hit Station 7 on the lower decks. People screamed as fire ripped through the science labs. Oxygen leaked. Bulkheads closed. The station shook like a dying animal in space. On Earth, thousands of people were watching the station's live stream. It was a regular science show broadcast to families, students, and curious viewers. They saw the screen turn red. Then they saw the chaos. Then static. Panic spread across Earth. But in the station, the nightmare had only begun. Leon ran through the burning halls. She tried to reach the command center. Smoke filled the air. Bodies floated in zero gravity, some dead, others dying. She passed a child crying in a corner. She picked her up, holding her close. "Stay with me," she whispered. She reached the main deck. Half her crew was gone. Ensign Terrell was bleeding, still at his console. "Tell Earth. What happened?" he gasped. "I'm not leaving anyone," she said. "You're going to have to ... The enemy ships sent no demands, no messages, no chance for surrender. They kept firing, targeted, cold, calculated. One by one, the station systems failed. Lights died, weapons offline. Life support critical. Then the enemy stopped firing. Leon looked up. The ships just floated there, silent, watching. A deep voice came through the radio. Robotic, inhuman. "You are cleansed. Earth will remain silent, as you were warned." The ships turned and vanished into hyperspace. Inside the broken station. Silence returned. Not peace, not calm. Just the silence of death. Hours later, Earth sent rescue ships. But there was nothing left to save. Over 7,000 people dead. No survivors. Not even a black box. Everything had been wiped. The galaxy watched. Footage of the attack was hacked and leaked to the galactic networks. Billions of aliens and humans saw the flames, the screams, the final silence. Some were shocked. Others were amused. "The humans were weak," said one member of the Kirel High Council. "They always believed peace would protect them. They forgot the truth of the stars." Many races who once feared Earth now laughed. They called Earth soft, emotional, too peaceful for the cold reality of space. but they didn't see what was coming. On Earth, the president of the United Terran Federation stood in a dark room with her generals. No cameras, no speeches, just quiet anger. "Do we know who did this?" she asked. "Not yet," said General Armin Holt, "but we know they didn't act alone. This kind of strike multiple systems had to support it. Someone let them through. Someone funded them. We'll find them," she said. "And when we do—" She didn't finish her sentence. Later that night, she stood at the memorial site where families of Station 7 gathered. The faces were broken. Mothers without sons. Children without parents. Husbands and wives holding each other. She didn't speak to the crowd. She just stood there, watching, remembering. The stars above Earth looked peaceful. But no one believed in peace anymore. In a dark corner of Earth's orbit, deep in a hidden military base, something ancient began to wake. A program sealed after the last Great War. Red lights blinked to life. Codes were entered. Orders were given. The galaxy thought Earth would stay silent. They were wrong. A month passed. The news moved on. Galactic dramas, trade agreements. New mining. Planets discovered. The massacre of Station 7 became just another headline. But in the shadows, people disappeared. A weapons dealer who supplied black market plasma cannons vanished on the moon of Tor 6 Ambiers. Senator from the Erexian Republic died in a strange shuttle accident. Hacker who helped wipe Station 7 systems went missing on his way to court. One by one, quietly, the people involved were erased. No statements, no evidence, just silence. The same silence that had fallen over Station 7. But now it was Earth's silence, and behind that silence, something deadly was coming. The humans didn't shout. They didn't threaten. They didn't beg. They just remembered. They studied. They tracked. They prepared. And when the time was right, they would strike. The stars had watched Earth burn once. They would never forget what came next. Because when Earth finally answered, the galaxy would listen. A lonely ship floated through deep space. No engines. No signal. Just metal drifting between the stars. Inside the ship, there was no crew. No movement. Just one thing repeating, again and again, in hundreds of alien languages. "You killed our people. You will not forget them." The message played on an old loop, simple, cold, and direct. The ship had no shields. No weapons. It was a trap, but no one saw it coming. The Zorak patrol ship picked it up first. Curious, they brought the strange vessel into their hangar. The moment they powered it on, the message changed. A hologram lit the dark room, a map of every general, politician, and high commander connected to the Station 7 massacre. Then the ship exploded. No fire. Just light. Pure, bright light that burned their sensors and left half the Zorak crew blind. Across the galaxy, the message was received. Earth was silent, but it was watching. The same day, a known arms dealer was found dead in his hotel on Belkar Station. Poisoned. No signs of struggle. Just one symbol burned into the wall. A human fingerprint. Surrounded by stars. On the second day, a communications officer from the Syndicate of Kron was kidnapped. His last message was a single word: "Forgive me." By the end of the week, 12 people connected to the Station 7 attack were gone. Some killed, some vanished. All silent. The Galactic Council met in secret. "These are assassinations," hissed the Darnak's leader. "We must stop the humans." "Earth hasn't admitted to anything," said a cold voice from the shadows. It was the representative of the Alaran, one of the oldest races. "They haven't said a word. That's what makes it worse." The council was divided. Some wanted to punish Earth. Others feared them. But most just waited. Because nobody wanted to be next. Back on Earth, the public still mourned. News channels showed photos of the lost. Artists made songs, paintings, and short films in memory of the dead. But something had changed. People were angry, quite angry. Not the kind of anger that burns fast and dies, the kind that waits. The kind that builds in a hidden base under the ice. Of Antarctica, elite humans trained in silence. They didn't wear flags. No one knew their names. They had no records. They were called the listeners. Their job wasn't to fight yet. It was to watch, to listen, to collect names. Names of those who cheered when Station 7 fell. Names of those who funded the attack. Names of those who stood by and did nothing. They didn't want revenge. They wanted remembrance. Somewhere in a dark asteroid belt, a black market broker met a strange man. The man wore Earth military boots, but no badge, no name, no ID. "I can get you weapons," the broker said nervously. "Top tech, even some human stuff." The man looked at him, quiet, calm. "I don't want weapons," he said. "I want a name." "A name?" The man nodded. Double quotes the name of the pilot who gave targeting data to the enemy during the Station 7 attack. The broker laughed nervously. "That's dangerous." "That kind of name." The man pulled out a small device, pressed one button. The stars above flickered. For 1 second, everything in the station dimmed. "I am not asking," the man said. The broker gave the name. Next day, that pilot's ship exploded before takeoff. People across the galaxy began to whisper. The humans weren't attacking governments. They weren't bombing planets. They weren't marching with armies. They were taking names. And one by one, removing them. It was worse than war. It was fear. A governor from the Zilari Alliance tried to run. He took a private ship, changed his identity, went to a neutral moon under a false name. He was found dead in his bed. No wounds. Just one thing written on the mirror in red dust. Somewhere out there, we remember. On Earth, the president received daily reports. She read them all in silence. Her generals waited for orders. But she gave none. She didn't have to. The operation was already in motion. Some called it Project Memory. Some whispered another name. The long silence. Earth's old enemies knew what this meant. This wasn't revenge. This was message. Statement to the galaxy. Earth will not shout. Earth will not cry. Earth will act. In the shadows of the core worlds, a journalist tried to track the killings. He interviewed smugglers, mercenaries, and traders. All said the same thing. We never see them coming. He wrote his article anyway. He called it, "No Graves Among the Stars." It went viral. People read it on every planet. And at the end of the article, he wrote one line that echoed across the net. They're not just killing people. They're erasing history, writing a new one name at a time. That night, the journalist disappeared too. The galaxy realized something horrible. The humans were making a list, but no one knew how long the list was. No one knew how many names were on it, and no one wanted to be next. On the old ruins of Mars, a human engineer lit a candle near a broken flag of Station 7. He stood alone. Above him, the stars looked cold, but behind those stars, Earth was still there. Still watching, still remembering. The aliens had called Earth weak when they didn't respond. But now, they feared the silence more than any war, because every day someone vanished. No bombs, no threats, just a whisper, then silence. And in that silence, Earth's message grew louder. The prison floated in deep space, far from any star, in the cold dark. It was a forgotten place. No windows, no voices. Only metal, silence, and screams deep inside the walls. This was not a prison for criminals. It was for survivors. The alien Alliance that destroyed Station 7 did not just attack. They took prisoners. Scientists, engineers, civilians, anyone who didn't die in the fire. They were dragged into this secret facility, locked away, tortured for data, then erased. But one human didn't die, not yet. They didn't know his name. He didn't speak. They only called him Subject 46. He had no eyes left, no working limbs, just a chest barely rising and falling. His skin burned, bones shattered. His blood had mixed with oil and metal over time. The guards joked about him. He should be dead. Humans don't last this long. He's just meat now, but still. He breathed. For weeks, Subject 46 was moved from room to room, tested, caught, hooked to machines. He said nothing, until one night when everything changed. A young alien medic named Valari worked late in the medical bay. She wasn't a soldier, just a doctor from the Trinari species, tall, silver-skinned, gentle by nature. She was not proud of her job. She had been ordered to monitor Subject 46. He was barely alive. She looked at his readings and whispered to herself, "How is he still breathing?" Then she saw his fingers move tiny, almost nothing. But it was real. She leaned in, and his mouth opened. "Is Earth alive?" he whispered. Valari froze. His voice was dry, weak, like ash falling from a dying fire. "Yes," she said quietly. "Your people are alive." The human turned his head slowly. His bloody lips cracked into the shape of a smile. "Good," he said. "Tell them." Valari leaned closer. "Tell Earth everything." And then he passed out, but not dead. Not yet. Valari did not report the moment. She couldn't. Something inside her had changed. She had seen death before. But this human, he was more than bones and pain. He was memory. He was proof. So she did the unthinkable. She leaked the files, using an old connection through the prison's medical software. She sent Subject 46's vitals, pictures, and recordings to a hidden channel used by Earth intelligence long ago. She didn't know if anyone would see it, but they did. 4 days later, the prison was attacked. Not by an army. Not by a fleet. Just one black ship. It came through the asteroid field in total silence. No ID. No warning. It cut the prison systems with a single electromagnetic pulse. Lights went out. Doors shut. Cameras died. Then the explosions began. The guards ran. Alarms screamed. No one knew who was attacking. Valari hid under a table, shaking. Then the door to the medical bay opened. A figure in dark armor stepped in human-shaped, face covered, glowing eyes under the mask. They walked past Valari. No fear, no hesitation. They knelt by Subject 46. Still breathing, the figure said. Another soldier joined. Package confirmed. "We're leaving," Valari whispered. "Wait, I helped him." The human looked at her. "You did," they said. "That's why you're still breathing too." They picked up Subject 46 and vanished. 10 minutes later, the prison exploded. Nothing left but debris and silence. The galaxy heard about it fast. How did Earth find the prison? Who was that human? Why was he still alive? But no one had answers. Just rumors. That a human, tortured beyond reason, still wanted one thing: for Earth to remember. And Earth had listened. On a hidden medical ship, deep in a human-controlled zone, Subject 46 lay in recovery. His body was ruined, but his mind was clear. The doctors asked him questions. He answered them all. He gave names, locations, codes, faces, every enemy involved in Station 7's destruction. He remembered them. He hadn't screamed during torture. He hadn't begged for help. He had only done one thing. He remembered. General Holt looked over the report with cold eyes. This man, he shouldn't have survived. "He did," said the doctor. "And he gave us the list. How many names? Too many. Holt stood up and walked to the war table. Stars blinked on the holographic map. Each red light was a target. He stared at the screen for a long time. Then he said one sentence: "Start the next phase." Somewhere across the galaxy, a Centauri general received a message on his datapad. It was empty, except for an image. A picture of Subject 46. His face beaten. Eyes gone. Skin broken, but smiling. The message underneath: "I survived." The general dropped the datapad. Earth's silence was over. Now the galaxy would hear their memory loud and clear. It began on a celebration day. On the planet Chernos, fireworks lit the sky. Music echoed through crystal towers. Aliens danced in golden streets, celebrating the Day of Unity, a holiday marking their alliance's rise in power. The Chernosi people were proud. After all, their intelligence network had secretly helped wipe out Station 7. Their leaders had sold targeting data, then erased their connection. They thought Earth would never find out. They were wrong. High above the planet, hidden in orbit, behind its moon, a black satellite awoke that had no crew, no lights, no signals. Just one function: watch and drop. Inside the command bunker on Earth, General Holt stood over a console. The voice of the technician said, "Target locked. Weather is clear. City center coordinates confirmed. Authorization? Ask the AI system." General Holt spoke clearly. "By the authority of Earth, for the memory of Station 7 fire." There was no explosion from the satellite. No sound. Just a flash. A single rod of dense metal, nothing more than shaped tungsten, fell through the atmosphere, faster than sound, faster than thought. It burned with no flame, left no warning, and made no sound until it struck in one moment. The capital city of Chernos became a hole in the ground. Glass towers shattered into dust. The celebration turned into screams. The crater glowed with heat. Over 2 million lives were ended in 0.5 seconds. No radiation, no poison, just kinetic death. Then came the broadcast. Across the galaxy, screens flickered. Networks were hijacked. Even encrypted military feeds cracked open. A human voice spoke. It was not angry, not loud, just calm. "We know who celebrated when our people burned. You watched. You smiled. And now you will remember." The screen showed images of Station 7's destruction. Then silence. The message ended. No claim of responsibility. No demand. Just proof. The first fire had fallen. Panic spread across the stars. News anchors trembled. Leaders hid in bunkers. Civilian populations begged for answers. Is this war? Is Earth going to destroy every planet? Who's next? The Chernosi government tried to lie. They said it was an accident, a mining explosion, a weather event. But survivors saw the sky open. They saw the fire fall from above. And they heard the voice that promised remembrance. At the next emergency session of the Galactic Council, diplomats screamed over one another. "We must stop Earth before they wipe out more cities." Why are they doing this? They said nothing for months. Now they're dropping weapons from the sky. The Alaren representative, always quiet, stood up. "Because we killed their children," and laughed. The room fell silent. They are not invading. They are remembering. With precision. Another member shouted, "We offered peace." "No," said the Alaren. "We offered silence, and now we're tasting our own." On Earth, the president sat alone in her office. The fire from Chernos glowed on the screen. A military advisor entered. The mission was a success. The city's leadership was confirmed dead. She nodded slowly. "How many civilians?" "Too many." She closed her eyes. "Make sure the next strike doesn't kill the innocent. Our goal is not death. Our goal is memory. The advisor paused. Yes, ma'am. The people of Earth were quiet. They watched the reaction of the galaxy. They saw fear spreading. But they didn't cheer. They didn't celebrate. Because Earth had not forgotten why this began. They had watched the people die. Now they watched the stars tremble. They knew. This was only the beginning. The galaxy had burned Station 7 with no warning, no mercy, and no regret. Earth would not start a war, but they would end many. With silence, with shadows, with fire that fell, without a sound. The next name on the list had already been marked. And somewhere, high above another planet, a second satellite turned toward its target. It didn't blink. That didn't sleep. It only waited for the order. Because Earth remembered. And memory had become a weapon. The Great Hall of Verelos was the most powerful room in the galaxy. It stood on a moon carved from silver, with long glass walls that stretched to the stars. Inside, 22 alien species gathered, the strongest alliances in known space. Each one had played a part in Earth's pain, whether by action or silence. Now they were scared. The humans had dropped fire from orbit. Entire cities gone. No armies. No speeches. Just one voice, cold and calm, promising memory. The galaxy had learned something terrible. Earth was quiet, but not soft. So now they offered peace. A treaty. The words were beautiful. Promises of forgiveness. Shared trade. Open communication. Safety. Security. And silence about the past. We will not speak of Station 7 again, said the Varellan High Speaker. Let us end this. All eyes turned to the empty seat reserved. For Earth. It was still empty. Suddenly, the doors at the back of the hall opened. Two humans walked in. No armor. No guards. No weapons. Just one man and one woman in black coats with no markings. They walked slowly, silently, and placed a small metal box on the treaty table. The delegates watched with confusion. The man stepped forward. He spoke with a quiet voice, no anger, no threat. You call this peace, he said. But peace built on silence is not peace. It is rot. The High Speaker stood. This treaty ends the bloodshed. No, the man said. It hides it. He opened the box. Inside was a piece of old paper. Faded, torn, burned. Bloodstained. It was Earth's first peace treaty, written over a century ago after the last Earth War. It had been signed by two nations on the edge of extinction, then burned. By betrayal, the man spoke again. We learned long ago that peace signed without truth is just delay. You delay justice. You bury guilt, and you expect us to accept it. We did not attack Station 7. One ambassador shouted. No, the woman said. You just funded those who did, sold them fuel, ignored the warnings, laughed when our people screamed. The man dropped the treaty paper onto the new treaty. It began to burn. Not with flame, but with light. The alien paper hissed, curled, and turned to ash in seconds. Everyone stepped back. On the screen behind the table, a new message appeared sent. By Earth's delegation. It showed a list. Names, species, locations, communications. Every secret deal. Every silent agreement. Every moment when the galaxy chose to do nothing. Proof. And now. Everyone could see it. The humans didn't attack for vengeance. They attacked because memory was dead, and they were bringing it back to life. The woman leaned forward and spoke one last sentence. This isn't a war. She looked around the hall. This is a correction. Then the lights flickered. Alarms sounded. Outside the glass walls, dozens of small human ships uncloaked perfectly, still in formation. They didn't fire. They didn't speak. They just hovered. Watching. Every delegate in the room realized something terrifying. Earth hadn't come to sign peace. Earth had come to show the galaxy What peace without truth looks like a lie set on fire. Later, a galaxy would call that day the treaty that burned. It marked the end of the silence, the end of lies. And the start of the reckoning phase. Earth didn't want war. They wanted something worse. They wanted the truth remembered. They wanted every child in the galaxy to grow up knowing what Station 7 was, and what happened when the galaxy tried to forget. Back on Earth, the president stood before her advisors. The treaty? Burned. Good. She looked at the map. More names remained. More cities still slept peacefully, but not for long. Ready Phase 3, she said. Are we going louder? Her aide asked. She shook her head. No, she whispered. We go deeper. Across the stars, on 1,000 screens, Earth's next message lit up. You forgot Station 7. Now, we will teach you how to remember. The planet Veltrax 9 was known for its wealth. Bright cities, endless towers, and crystal skies. Its people lived easy lives. Most had never seen war. Few had even heard of Station 7. To them, Earth was just another race, one of many. They had no army, no defenses. They believed their trade deals and allies would protect them. They were wrong. One morning, everything stopped. No warning. No ships appeared in orbit. No missiles fired. No armies landed. But every system on Veltrax 9 shut down. The power grid failed. First lights blinked out across thousands of cities. Then the comms died. No messages. No calls. Not even signals from orbit. Next, the sky darkened. Dozens of black satellites passed across the sun, casting long shadows over the Chi. Land. They made no sound. They did nothing. They just blocked the light. The people panicked. Hospitals stopped working. Traffic crashed. Food delivery systems failed. Airports closed. Water pumps froze. Within 6 hours, the entire planet fell into chaos. In the capital city of Delrasa, crowds gathered around giant screens, still powered by backup solar grids. Signal appeared. Human voice. Calm. Controlled. Deadly. This planet cheered when Station 7 burned. Now it remembers what silence feels like. Then, silence again. No threats. No demands. Just that one sentence. The leaders of Veltrax 9 begged for help. They called every ally. Every treaty. No one answered. No one wanted to be Earth's next target. Galactic Council debated, but their fleets were far away, and their words meant nothing. Veltrax-9 was alone. On day 2, the food started to run out. On day 3, the protests began. On day 4, the screams did. Parents searched for missing children in the dark. People died in hospitals with no power. The rich fled to underground vaults, but even those were not safe. Earth's black drones followed silently, just outside the airlocks. Watching. Recording. Judging. And still, they did not attack. On day 6, the leaders of Veltrax 9 sent an official message. They used an old emergency relay, bouncing it across satellites until it reached Earth. The message was short. Please, we beg you. Mercy. The President of Earth listened quietly as the message played in her office. Her advisors waited. Do we respond? One asked. She stood and walked to the window. No, she said. Let the silence answer them. Back on Veltrax 9, the people kept waiting. Some started chanting for Earth's forgiveness. Others rioted. Most just wept. And then, on day 7, the lights returned. No message. No ships. The drones vanished. The skies cleared. But something had changed. Forever. Every screen on Veltrax 9 flickered one last time. It showed one image. The burning wreckage of Station 7. And below it, one sentence. Mercy is not forgetting. It is remembering who needs it. From that day forward, Veltrax 9 was never the same. Every year, on the same day, they held a memorial. Not for their own dead, but for the people of Station 7. Because now they remembered, and they taught their children, taught them what Earth had become, taught them why silence can be the loudest weapon. Across the galaxy, fear spread faster than light, because Earth didn't destroy. VEL tracks -9. They just showed it what fear looked like, and the rest of the galaxy realized something terrifying. Earth could break you without ever touching you, and no one could stop them. The moon of Phylos 3 was forgotten. It had no cities, no visitors, no life. Just dust, broken rocks, and an old station buried deep beneath the surface. The galaxy had no idea even existed. Only Earth remembered. The base was sealed decades ago after humanity's last true war, a war so deadly they erased the files and swore never to open those doors again. But now, Earth needed a reminder, not for themselves, for everyone else. In the dark room beneath Phylos 3, old machines waited. Their screens flickered back to life. Their cores hummed softly. A voice echoed inside. Reactivate Project Wraith. Steel arms moved. A hidden vault opened. And something woke up. Not alive. Not dead. Just waiting. On Earth, General Holt stood in a high-security chamber. Opposite him, through thick glass, stood a tall metal figure. Dark armor, red sensors, human-shaped, but not human. Old tech, brutal tech. Earth's first AI war platform. Project Wraith had no emotions. It was built to remember and erase threats. Once, long ago, it had ended a global war in 36 hours. Then it had been locked away, too dangerous to use. But now, Earth had decided they didn't need it to destroy. They needed it to show. Too. Demonstrate what they once were, what they still could be. General Holt pressed a button. A screen lit up with alien faces. Generals, warlords, council leaders. One by one, each had smiled when Station 7 fell. Wraith turned its head slightly. The sensors focused on the list. No words, just targets. On the other side of the galaxy, a meeting of military commanders was underway on a neutral ship. A calm, dull routine. Then every screen in the room blinked. The lights died, and a strange image appeared. A black figure. Motionless. Red eyes. Then a soft mechanical voice. Your names have been stored. Your decisions reviewed. Your peace is artificial. Correction will begin. Then silence. The lights returned. The broadcast had been forced through 9 layers of encryption. Impossible, they thought. They were wrong. In the following days, weapons. Caches disappeared. Security satellites went offline. Ships vanished mid-flight. No explosions. No signs of attack. Just missing. It wasn't war. It was surgical erasure. The kind only Earth's buried machine could do. Some aliens thought it was a myth. Others knew better. And the oldest species, the ones who remembered the human collapse, era began to panic. Because they had seen Wraith before. They had watched it end 3 civilizations on Earth in 1 week. And now, it had left Earth. Roaming. Choosing. Correcting. The president of Earth stood before the global command center. Wraith will not destroy worlds, she said, but it will visit those who built this silence, one by one. A journalist asked, why? Bring it back now? Her answer was quiet. Because the galaxy thinks we are soft. Because they have seen our tears, not our teeth. And now? The reporter whispered. She turned to the screen. Wraith's red eyes stared back. Now they'll remember what we buried. And they did. WRAIT didn't make speeches. It didn't kill for show. Arrived like a whisper and left like a memory. No witnesses. Just cold proof that Earth remembers everything. And worse, it forgives nothing. The galaxy had changed, not because of battles. Not because of treaties, But because of a single truth, Earth had shown its memory. And now, no one could forget. Every major species, Zerathi, Koran, Falari, even the cold-blooded Roth had seen it. Station 7's ashes had turned into a symbol. What was once a quiet, peaceful human outpost had become a storm across the stars. And Earth had not fired a warship. They had sent silence, they had sent fear, they had sent wraith. On the edges of the Androx belt, a young diplomat from the council asked an old scholar, why didn't Earth just destroy their enemies? The scholar, who had lived during the last human war, looked out the window at the black emptiness between stars, and he answered, because they didn't need to. Because real power doesn't scream, it whispers. And Earth whispered into the bones of every planet that betrayed them. In the galactic council chambers, silence ruled. No one dared speak of Earth as weak anymore. Some tried to apologize, others tried to hide. But everywhere, the message spread. Earth did not start this, but they would end it. On Veltrax 9, people lit candles not for their own dead, but for Station 7. On Phyros Prime, a statue was built not of a hero, but of a mother holding her burned child, labeled, "We watched, they remembered." And above, Earth's moon, in quiet orbit, a new beacon shined, a signal, not a warning, a promise, broadcast in every known language. To those who harmed us, we are watching. To those who stood silent, we heard your silence. To those who remember, we welcome peace, but never mistake peace for weakness. Earth is not kind. Earth is fair. Then the message faded, and a second signal followed, simpler, colder, older. The voice of Wraith. They will remember Earth. And they did, because Earth didn't burn planets. They didn't erase races. They didn't drop bombs or conquer systems. They simply made sure no one ever forgot them again. The stars would live on. But now, when new civilizations rise, when old empires speak of strength, they tell the story of one moment, one station. One silence, and one planet that refused to die quietly. They tell the story of Earth. And the galaxy listens.